France has claimed a victory in the fishing wars with Britain after Guernsey approved all licenses Paris said its fishermen were entitled to under Brexit. Some 40 vessels who had requested licenses and were registered in either Brittany or Normandy have been approved, with another 3 to be issued later, authorities on the Channel Islands said. There still remain dozens of licenses which are being withheld by Britain and Jersey, a French minister has said. France is angry that Britain and the Channel Islands of Jersey and Guernsey have not issued some French boats licenses to fish in their waters after Brexit as the row continues to rumble. Under a deal agreed by London and Brussels late last year, European fishing vessels can continue to ply UK waters if they apply for new licenses and can prove they operated there in the past. Fishing rights plagued Brexit talks for years and continue to poison relations between Britain and France, not because of their economic importance but because of their political resonance for both sides. Paris says London is failing to respect the agreed licensing system that grants vessels access to each other's waters, a charge that Britain denies. As the deadline fixed by the European Commission approaches, the issuance of 43 licenses is excellent news for our fishermen, Annick Girardin, France's seas minister, said on Twitter. Guernsey confirmed that the licenses had been approved. Guernsey and Jersey, both British Crown dependencies, lie far closer to the northern shores of France than to Britain. Girardin said France was still awaiting 59 licenses from Jersey and 52 licenses to fish in the territorial waters 6 to 12 miles off Britain's shores. French fishermen temporarily blockaded the port of Calais and Channel Tunnel Rail last Friday in an effort to disrupt trade between Britain and the continent. In May, as tensions over access to the self-governing British Crown dependencies in the Channel boiled over, French trawlers briefly encircled Jersey's main port. Guernsey's authorities had so far renewed licenses on an interim, month-to-month, basis as it considered the applications. The licenses announced on Wednesday will enable 40 vessels to continue to fish in Guernsey waters from February 2022. The other vessels on the interim list will be able to fish until January 31, 2022. After that, they will no longer be allowed, unless they can provide evidence that they historically fished in the waters. We have reached a significant milestone in our licensing roadmap announced back in September, said Guernsey official Jonathan Laddock. We value our good relationships with Normandy, Brittany, and La Manche, and I hope that today's announcement provides welcome certainty and stability in this new era, he added. The EU has given Britain until December 10 to resolve the issue. French fishermen last week disrupted cross-channel traffic for several hours in protest at the post-Brexit fishing rights granted by Britain. Half a dozen fishing boats blocked access to ferries at the northern port of Calais and the port of Ouistreham in Normandy to the southwest. The action by French fishermen came with relations between the two neighbors at their lowest point in decades and days after a dinghy carrying migrants sank in the channel, claiming 27 lives. Meanwhile, a post-Brexit trade deal between Britain and Norway came into effect on Wednesday. The deal promises tariff-free trade in produce, including fish, potentially presenting benefits to consumers but new competition for the hard-pressed UK fishing industry. The deal was struck in April, but without agreement reached on mutual access to each other's fishing waters. This deal will support businesses in all sectors across the country, from the fishing trade in Scotland and Guernsey, to innovative fintech companies in our biggest cities, International Trade Secretary Anne-Marie Trevelyan said.